What is up, everybody on YouTube? Cody Ray 119 here for another video. In today's video, I thought I'd do something a little random. Not only I collect horror movies, I'm also a game collector of old school types. So I've been playing video games since the early 90s. Grew up on Super Mario Brothers. So I thought I'd show you guys some of my cartridge games from Nintendo to the 64. So I will start off with the Nintendo Entertainment System. This one is a really fun game, which is Batman, the video game. People would say this is one of the best games ever for the Nintendo Entertainment System. It is a very fun game. It gets difficult the more you play it, but it's just a fantastic game. Next up, Vester's Quest. I do like this game. People shit on this game. Even the Angry Video Game Nerd reviewed this. I actually like playing this game. I first time played this on the Super Nintendo version. My grandma used to have a Super Nintendo at her house. Whenever we went there, I would play some games on there. So, and I actually found this on the NES version. This one, not really a big fan of this. I picked this up a while ago. Just curious how this game is, which is Castle Quest. I just don't really understand this game, to be honest. You just pretty much walk around these rooms in that first-person mode. So I just could not get into this. So yeah, Castle Quest. This one's one of my favorites. One of the first games I ever played, which is, it's like the original game. I love this game. I would play this for hours. So, next up, I think this is one of the best Nintendo games, which is Super Mario 3. I think this is the best Mario game. Next up, this is where it all started. Very first game that I have played. You know, if you were born in the early 80s, mid 80s, or even the late 80s, this is probably like maybe your first game you ever played, which is Super Mario Brothers. Of course, Duck Hunt. Definitely a fantastic game. I still enjoy this game. Duck Hunt, another fun game. I despise the hell out of that dog. Every time you miss shooting duck, it laughs at you. Just want to shoot the little fucker. So, Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt. That's all my Nintendo Entertainment System games I have. I used to have like a big stack of them. Next up, I only have a fewer Super Nintendo games. Now this one is probably everybody's top 5 for the Super Nintendo, which is Street Fighter 2. I think this is the first game that I played on the Super Nintendo. So, play the shit out of this game all the time. Next up, I am a wrestling fan. Wrestling games from the NES, Super Nintendo era were not very popular. They were pretty hard. The controls were really funky, and But this one I actually really enjoy playing, which is Super WrestleMania. I don't know if you guys can see it. It has Macho Man, Hulk Hogan, the Ultimate Warrior, and Sid Vicious on the cover of it. Next up, Batman Forever. This is actually a pretty decent game based on the movie. The graphics are also pretty good. It's similar to the Mortal Kombat. So, I actually like this game. Next up, this game, a lot of people had trouble passing the first level, including me, which is the Lion King. I didn't play this as a kid. I first played this probably 4 or 5 years ago, something like that. I do like playing this game, but it's really a pain in the ass to try to pass the first level. Now that's all my Super Nintendo collection I have. I really need to get out, start hunting for more games. There's like a pawn shop that has quite a bit of games, so I gotta go there one of these days and check it out. So now I have like more games on the 64. I have like quite a bit of wrestling games on it. This one is WWF Wrestlemania 2000. This is a fantastic game. These kind of games right here, they got like easier and more fun to play. More simple than the older games. This one is Wcw Mayhem. A decent game, not that great. The graphics are actually pretty good. The move sets are very basic. It's like they all have the same move set in this. I do like the commentary. They did a pretty good job making a commentary. This stage were also spot on. I really like this stage. Next up is another wrestling game. I used to rent this game all the time from a video store, which is Wwf Warzone. So, another game that had a pretty good graphics for its time. Next up, this is probably my favorite wrestling game on the 64, which is WCW and WO Revenge. I would play this game for hours and hours. I was a huge WCW game fan. I used to watch WCW a lot back in the late 90s. I kind of watched WWF a little more around 99, 2000s, because WCW was declining around that time. So, love Revenge. Such a fun game. Next up, this one, people would consider the greatest wrestling game ever. And I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about if you played Nintendo 64, which is WWF No Mercy. This game introduced, there was custom wrestlers in Warzone and WrestleMania 2000, but this one gave you more freedom to customize your wrestler how you want. They also have face features of wrestlers from different promotions. Some were also recycled from WCW Revenge. This game is so fun. You never get tired of this. So, No Mercy is definitely one of the best wrestling games ever. Now I have a couple left. Next up, another fantastic game that I loved playing growing up, which is Star Wars Shadow of the Empire. I think this is still one of the best Star Wars games ever made. Plus, the graphics were also decent. I know there's a PC version. I'd like to get my hands on it and try that out, because I see that the graphics are probably a little better, but who knows. One of these days, maybe I'll find it and try it out. This one's the final one. Another wrestling game, which is WCW and Wwf World Tour. It's an okay game. This is like this. I don't know if this came out or WCW versus the World. I'm not sure which one came out first. I think World versus the World came out first, then this. Yeah, this one's okay. There was like only, what, 6, 7 wrestlers you can choose from. And the movesets, they were all wrong. They made Kevin Nash have a sit-down powerbomb, which his finisher is a jackknife powerbomb. Yeah, it's an okay game. It's nothing special. And of course, I got one of these Game Sharks. I like to cheat. I'm definitely a cheater on games. This is like, well, these are actually a pain in the ass because you have to type in codes if you want to cheat on a game, which would take forever because you have to use a controller and there was no keyboard. So yeah, I only this one's. I'm not sure which one this is. Which I think this is like the early version of Game Shark. So, well, ladies and gentlemen, that's my game collection from the past. So, what did you guys think of my collection I have? So, I am a huge fan of the Marios, wrestling games, all that. So, maybe one day I go out hunting, find some more retro games, and I'll show you guys my upcoming collections. And I'm thinking about showing you guys my PlayStation 2 games. I don't have very many PS1 games. I only have 2 or 3. So maybe I'll try to build that up, and then I can just share my collections. So I want to thank you guys for watching. You guys can like my videos, dislike, whatever you want. You can follow me on social media such as Facebook, Twitter, /app at CodyRay119. See you all later in the next video.